The lady had to quit. She got in a car accident.
Ooh. All right. Let's clap it up.
Yeah,
Hey, listen, we're ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. Yeah, that's right. Clap it up. We've been bringing this truth since 1969. That truth is that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives are the true biblical Jews of the Bible. And our oppressors, the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's
hey,
right.
Listen, tonight is history class. Every night, every Monday night, we got to give y'all a little bit of history. You know what I'm saying? And history is important because when you forget history, you tend to repeat the same things. You understand what I'm saying? Tonight's class is America, the Paper Tiger. You understand? And a lot of people don't know what a paper tiger is. Somebody tell me what a paper tiger is. Do we got anybody online?
Come on, sir.
Hey, anybody online? Somebody tell me what a paper tiger is. Somebody give me that. I'm gonna give you about 15 seconds. Somebody type it in. Let me know what a paper tiger is. That term, paper tiger. I'm telling you that because America is a paper tiger. You know what a paper tiger is? I know what a paper tiger is. A lot of people don't because it's not a term, widely used. But it's a term that's usually used in like media. You understand? When you listening to the news and things like that. You understand? We get anybody say anything? All right, we ain't got a lot of time, so for time purposes, a paper tiger is a person or thing that appears to be threatening, but is ineffectual. You understand? I'm gonna say it again: a person or thing that appears threatening, but is ineffectual. What does ineffectual mean? You understand? You good? Oh, you didn't want the big fan? No, I'm good. You good with that one right there?
Come on, I'm surprised.
I'm good. You can leave it right there. Carl was determined to get that, Mom. I know you do. Listen, ineffectual. What does ineffectual mean? Ineffectual means lacking the power, the skill, or capacity to produce the desired effect. You understand?
Okay.
So when you project yourself to be a power, you understand, but you're not actually a power, that means you're lacking that energy to produce the effect that you're portraying. You understand? It says it's used to describe action, results, or policies that fail to achieve their goal, as well as people, especially leaders. And we got a lot of leaders who are paper tigers. You understand? We got a lot of leaders that we look at and say, man, I wish I wouldn't have voted them in. You understand?
Okay.
Who are weak, indecisive, and unable to command respect. You understand? Now, we said it before, paper tiger is somebody portraying an image to be something powerful, but they're really ineffective. You understand? In World War I, when did World War I start? World War I started July 28th, 1914, right? And it ended in June 28th, 1919, just before the Great Depression really hit. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Listen, America came into World War I want to say toward the end of World War I. You understand what I'm saying? They came in toward the end. Listen, Woodrow Wilson, we talked about this earlier, right? Woodrow Wilson states the world must be made safer for democracy. And the thing is democracy is another one of those things that portrays itself to be one thing, but turns out to be another thing. We talked about this last week. You understand, democracy since its inception, or since we've known it to be democracy back in Greco-Roman times, democracy always kept the rich people getting richer and the poor people subjugated to the bottom. You understand what I'm saying? The laws that are brought together around a democracy is to keep the people focused on something that really doesn't matter, a paper tiger type of thing. You understand what I'm saying? It's portrayed to be one thing, but it's doing something else. It's portrayed to be something strong, but it's really something weak. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Listen, Woodrow Wilson, he framed the war not as a fight for territorial gain. Now think about this, right? Whenever the oppressor has ever went into any country, it's always been about territorial gain. I mean, think about it, right? When we look at when the oppressor came here to the so-called Americas, you understand? It wasn't just a kumbaya with the Native Americans. You understand? It was to take over, because that's what our oppressor does. Same as a democracy, right? A democracy portrays itself to be one thing, but it's really to take over and to control.
Okay.
I mean, think about it, right? We call this the United States of America, but are the states really united? No, because you got red and blue states. How can states be united if you got Republican and Democrat? You understand what I'm saying? See, we get fooled by wordplay by the oppressor. You understand? Listen, it says he framed the war not as a fight for territorial gain or old world rivalries, but as a moral crusade to protect democracy and create a new, more peaceful international order. Have we ever seen peace and morality in an international order in democracy? America's been at war since America's been created. We keep looking at America like America is a great thing. You understand what I'm saying? America has never been a great thing. America is the terrorist of the earth. America, think about this, right? Somebody tell me the nation, and I want to say after the Constitution was created, tell me the nation that attacked America. Ain't been a nation that attacked America after the Constitution. You understand? Remember that Boston Tea Party, that British, the British are coming, Paul Revere. That was before the Constitution. You understand what I'm saying? Once America got established and created their Constitution, there was no country that attacked America. But since America has been created, America has attacked many nations. So much so that America dropped an atomic bomb on Japan, destroyed Hiroshima and Nagasaki and eight other cities in Japan. You understand? America's a horrible nation. America is a paper tiger. You understand? Because think about this. Now, I want to take a step back and I want everybody to really get a real history lesson, right?
Yeah, comment.
America, what's the comment?
Comment from this officer Bakar said America attacks America, U.S. House divided.
Yeah, but U.S. House has always been divided. That's why we got Republican and Democrat. That's why you got the Democrats every year blaming the Republicans and the Republicans blaming the Democrats. You understand? America has never been a United States. They've always been divided. That's what the Civil War came from. You understand? That's what the Civil War. Let's think about it, right? The North and the South. The North and the South fighting against each other. Abraham Lincoln fought to keep the Union together, to keep the North and the South together. He said, just like Cap said earlier, if I could free the slaves and keep the Union together, I would. If I can not free the slaves and keep the Union together, I would. Basically, he didn't want to free the slaves, but he wanted to do anything that he could do to keep the Union together. It had nothing to do with freeing slaves.
Right.
Think about this. If it had anything to do with freeing slaves, we wouldn't still be in slavery today. We'd have our own cities and towns today. America makes you believe that this is one great big melting pot. Again, a paper tiger, appearing to be one thing, but it's something else. Appearing to be something strong, but it's something weak. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Okay.
And this, I don't want to go too far off, but the sidebar, this is what baffles me the most, that we understood that we had more power when we had our own cities and towns. When segregation was in full swing, we had more powers. Why? Because we had our own stores. We had our own movie theaters. We had our own restaurants. You understand? We had our own schools and things like that. Integration. You understand? To be with the oppressor. Oppressor saw us after the Great Depression hit. The oppressor saw us building and building. And think about this, right? We didn't feel the Great Depression because they didn't want us with them. So because they wanted to be separate and not equal, their kingdom began falling. And what happens when you see somebody jealous, see you rising and they fall, and what do? They do everything that they can do to sabotage what you have.
That's right.
You understand? America sabotaged all the blacks. Think about this, right? How does all the black cities and towns begin to fall apart all at one time, at the same time? You got people coming out of slavery who were once slaves becoming millionaires. The great artisans of America were the slaves. You had the plumbers, you had carpenters, you had masons, Black Wall Street. But all of those professional builders, the carpenters, you understand, the bricklayers and everything like that, those were the artisans, those were the professionals of that time. You understand? And then going into the 1800s, the late 1800s, they began to create all kinds of black codes, and they had all white. Think about this, right? They had all white labor unions. And this is where we celebrate Labor Day from. Mm-hmm. They created all white labor unions, and then they made laws where you had to be under a labor union to do your profession, to be an electrician, to be a plumber. You understand? To be a carpenter, to be a bricklayer, you had to be in a union. So what did that do? That took all of those good jobs that the black people had, all of the skills that the black people had, and that put it in white control. And putting it in white control, and thanks to Woodrow Wilson at the time. You understand what I'm saying? He helped continue that. So now we got the skills, but we can't, you understand, get the jobs because we're not in the white labor unions. And when you want things built, who do you have to go to? You have to go to the white labor unions. Even though they had a black labor union that was started, the blacks in the labor union still couldn't get work. Think about this. Now we're going to fast forward to 2026. You got to go get, what do they call it? You got to go get licensed to do hair. Black people have been doing hair since slavery time. You got to go get a license to do nails. Mm-hmm. You got to go get a license to sew clothes and fix clothes and to create clothes. You got to get a license. Sell food. You got to get a license. All of the things that we do naturally, they take control of it. You understand?
Okay.
Think about this, right? That's something to think about. That's something to think about. It says Congress voted to declare war on Germany April 6, 1917. America saw its first action in World War I, October 21st, 1917, on the front line in the trenches near Nancy, France. Nancy, France, suffering its first casualties shortly after on November the 2nd, 1917. Remember, this is 1917. They just coming into the war in 1917. The war's over in 1919, but this war started in 1914. Now, I'm saying that for a reason, right? I'm saying that for a reason because America is not the strong country that we think it is. We always look at America. America comes in, oh, they wipes everybody out. They run, oh, this is the greatest. This is the greatest. What's that military on the face of the planet?
Right.
But think about this, right? If your buddies is out there and they fighting for 4 hours, and you come in the last hour of the fight, you understand?
Right.
Everybody already beat, battered, and bruised.
Right.
So 9 times out of 10, you won't come out not too scathed up.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So I'm saying that about the World War I, 1914 to 1919. You understand what I'm saying? That's a long stretch. And for you to come in at the back end of it, let me make sure I got that right. 1914. And you come in 1917. Right. And it's over in 1919, right?
Right.
So you're not going to be that battered and bruised. Again, what's the benefit of America? They flanked by 2 oceans, the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean, right? The Atlantic and the Pacific. So now on the Atlantic, after you get past the Atlantic and Pacific, you got the Middle East, you got Russia, you got China, you got Iran, and you got Europe all bunched together. They can bomb each other to hell. So now I want you to take a look at World War I and countries that's that close together bombing each other to hell. Right. America got to come across an ocean. Nobody runs across the ocean to attack America. It's too damn far. At that time, it's too far. You wasting a whole lot of time and effort to get across there when it's too far, right?
Uh-huh.
Let's grab Psalms. No. Let's hold on that. Let's hold on that. Yeah, let's hold on that, right? Because America wants us to believe that it's the strength of the earth. You understand what I'm saying? But it's not. So I want to get into World War II because
824.
Yeah, I got to get into World War II. World War II started September the 1st, 1939. It goes all the way till September the 2nd, 1945. So think about that, right? 39 to 45.
Okay.
America enters the war in 1941. What's the ironic thing when America enters the war? Why did America enter World War II?
So why did they?
Why did they enter World War II?
Damn, I don't know. So.
They entered World War II because they got attacked by Japan.
Oh, come on.
Right? But again, let's think about this, right? Where did they actually get attacked by Japan at? Recall? Where? No, when Japan attacked America in World War II, they attacked America, not America mainland, but they attacked America, Hawaii.
Okay.
They attacked Pearl Harbor. And nothing to do. That was nowhere near America. You understand what I'm saying? So again, America never really got attacked. Now, America didn't get attacked in World War II. Again, you got a bunch of nations in the World War again, and they boom, bombing each other to hell. America comes out unscathed. America did have losses because once D-Day hit, now I want to give you a better picture, right? I want to give you a better picture. Again, imagine America. I mean, imagine all of those nations fighting against each other over where they are, right? America's got to come across the ocean and join the fight. But before they did that, all those other nations were fighting against each other. America's fighting Japan, but remember, Japan is fighting other nations too. So it's really not a fair fight. And by the time America comes into D-Day, you understand the last year of the war, that's where America catches most of their casualties at. If I'm not mistaken, America casualties at the end of World War II was like, I want to say 236,000 lives lost. Right? You see what you just said?
Good.
You said, dang,
Good.
236,000. But just imagine, Russia lost what? Almost 2 million. You understand what I'm saying? It's a big difference when you come in at the ass end of a fight. You look at 236,000 casualties and you like, yeah, it's a lot. But when you see somebody who's been fighting the whole war,
Yeah, come on.
so at the end of the day, who's the hegemon, or who's the world power at the end of that war? America. Because they, first off, mainland America never got attacked. Germany was destroyed. Soviet Union was destroyed. Poland was destroyed. Japan was destroyed. Now, I want to jump back onto that Japan. Because now we got the bomb that was dropped on those cities in Japan, namely Nagasaki and Hiroshima, right?
Okay.
A lot of people don't understand that the Red Army, which was the Soviet Union at the time, marched into Manchuria and destroyed Japan. Destroyed them so much so that they surrendered. That's how they got to the surrendering table. Well, before they signed the documents at the surrendering table for surrender, America wanted to test that nuclear weapon that they had, that atomic bomb. It wasn't that they wanted the war to stop. They wanted to test because the war was already, right. You understand, they had already given up. And they dropped the bomb on Hiroshima. Then 3 days later on Nagasaki, not together. But think about it, right? They used them as a proving ground. But when you read the documents or when you read history written by America, that this was the deciding thing that made Japan, surrender when they didn't. The Red Army, the Soviet Union, the one who lost all of those millions of people, they were the one that marched into Manchuria, man-to-man, hand-to-hand combat, and destroyed them and made them. When somebody beat the hell out you so bad that you say, hey, what document we signed, we give up. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. That's how powerful the Soviet Union was at that time. But when you suffer so many casualties and your land is destroyed along with everybody else's land again, who's sitting at the helm again? Now, in World War I, after World War I, America started the League of Nations, right? But they had given a few countries too much power. So America backed out of the League of Nations. They still had the League of Nations, but America backed out. Now that they had World War II, America pulled out its game plan again. I'm going to let everybody else go at it, and then I'm going to come in at the ass end again. After World War I, Winston Churchill wanted to attack the Soviet Union. After that, after they had punished Germany the first time. You understand what I'm saying? So these are some wicked people from the jump. And bam, here we go again. You understand what I'm saying? think it was World War II. After World War II, after they had marched in and destroyed Manchuria. They wanted to do that. That shows you how wicked the Europeans are. But again, America came in at the back end and did the same thing, the same game plan. I'm saying that to say this, right? We looking at World War III right now. And what is America doing? America started a war, right?
Yeah.
And now what they doing, stepping back, and they letting the European Union take the lead, getting everybody in the mix. You understand? They what they doing? Flanked by two oceans, they got military bases over there, and they throwing rocks and running back. Oh, they bombing military bases. They bombing U.S. military bases, but who are they really bombing? They bombing the countries that the U.S. military bases are on. They're not bombing America. America's industry is not being destroyed. American land is not being destroyed. American people are not being destroyed. It's the same game plan for the third time. For the third time. But when we look at it, hold up, wait a minute. Now we can get Psalm 58 and 3.
Okay.
A hold right there. We're going to grab Psalm 58 and 3.
This is Psalms chapter 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb.
Hey, listen. We watched America in World War I. We watched them in World War II. And we see the same game plan happening in World War III. It's like I said, they pushing the European Union up the front versus Russia. Russians say they about to attack Europe. They're about to attack Europe because Europe wants to attack Russia. You understand? Israel wants to attack Iran. Iran is attacking all of those nations around them that those military bases, those U.S. military bases are in, but they're not actually attacking America. Now, I know we've seen U.S. soldiers, lives getting lost, but what we said about that earlier.
Casualties of war.
Casualties of war. You understand? America will give up a few for the glory of America. If it costs you a couple of soldiers, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What happens when you bomb somebody and the real person that you know is responsible for it, they get hit? How do you feel? Yeah, they deserve that. America says, here, we're going to give you something to make you feel good. So you'll say, yeah, they deserve that. They give up a couple of soldiers. They'll put some soldiers in harm's way so that those countries will feel good about what they're doing and don't think about flying across that ocean or sending that Oreshnik across that ocean, because you know North Korea, China, and Russia got weapons that can reach America mainland. They can hit DC. They already know that. And this is the whole purpose of America having those military bases over there. They'll sacrifice some military men to let them destroy all of them, would destroy themselves, and then America come marching over there. Okay, we'll take that, we'll take this. You understand? Okay, we're gonna regulate the oil coming out of here. Now we control everything. This is the same game plan that they've always used. The wicked are estranged from the womb. This is how these people are born. They were born like this. Remember we was talking about earlier, and we were saying about the how slavery is in our DNA. Well, slavery is in their DNA too. Evil is in their DNA. To be a terrorist is in their DNA. Think about this, right? If being a slave and being oppressed affects us mentally, the evils that they do affects them in the same way. You understand? You ever seen somebody, and I'm talking about oppressors, right? and you say to yourself, oh yeah, that's a good one right there. Then all of a sudden you see an action that say, oh no, he's just like the rest of them.
Yeah.
Listen, it's in them to be exactly what we see. You understand? Say that again. There you go.
Yeah.
As iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Yeah.
You understand? Iron rusteth, rust naturally. That's a natural occurrence in iron. But if you polish it up and you put oil on it, it'll cover it up for a while. But if you let it sit, eventually that rust going to show through, just like their wickedness. Yeah. You understand? Go ahead.
Okay. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
Hey, listen, they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. How many times have we listened to the lies? How many times have we believed the lies that they've given us? Now, I want you to think about this war that's going on right now. How many times have the Iranians trusted in the America's lies? Mm-hmm. And America turned around and bombed them.
Yeah.
Every time. Listen, the scriptures say they have broken their covenant. You understand?
Okay.
This is a part of American culture to break covenants. Over 177 peace treaties with the natives. And I'm talking about the Native American Indians, so-called Native American Indians, and they've broken every covenant. They said up to last year, and still right now to this day, they're still breaking those covenants. That's part of American culture. How many times have you been lied to by your oppressor boss?
Right.
You work for them and they say, well, it just wasn't your time. Well, we felt like, we needed to see this out of you, but you didn't show that, but you're still doing good. But they break their covenant. Listen, all you have to do is do this and we'll pay you this. And then you do that. They'll always find something not to give you what you deserve.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? This is a part of their culture. Remember the video that we saw earlier when the young kid said they'll let you go so far and then they'll keep you right where they want you at. They'll bait you along. Listen, give me. If you do this for 6 more months, then I'm gonna go talk to the front office and we're gonna see what we can do for you. 6 months come. Hey, listen, I went and talked to the front office and they listen, man. I feel bad. I feel bad about I feel bad about this. Listen, I'm gonna fight until I can't fight anymore for you. That's what they do. You understand what I'm saying? This is what happens. Go ahead.
Okay. That was in there. So you want?
Yeah, go ahead. Number 4.
Oh, come on. Verse 4. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent.
Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. Listen, them words that they speak, the actions that they take, the things that they do behind our back is like the poison of a snake. You understand? Listen. How many times have they said something to you, right? And you get excited, and all of a sudden the time comes and then you become disappointed. That's the poison of a serpent. Listen, it's always been poison, but they got to lull you to sleep. They get you comfortable in what they're saying. Listen, we listen to the voice of a snake and we get lulled to sleep. They make us believe, you know what? I feel like he got my best interest at heart.
Right.
I feel like he going, listen, man, how many times you came out of me? Nah, man, I think he gonna help us out for real.
Yeah.
I think he gonna do this, yo. For real. I know what happened before, right? But this time, yo, he sound good. And the next thing you know, you sitting there looking 10 carats stupid. Because you trusted in him. You trusted in the scriptures tell us, never trust thine enemy. Just like Ricard said earlier, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. We believe those words. That's why we got people voting today. That's why we got our brothers and sisters still voting. After 50, 55, 60 years, we still voting on the same thing. Think about this, right? I asked somebody a couple of weeks ago, do we have equal rights as black people? Do we have equal rights as black people? We don't. You know why? Because equal rights has never been ratified. All the way up until about August of 2020, they tried to ratify equal rights, right? They had 38 states is what they needed to ratify. They got the 38 states, then 3 states backed out. So as of 2020, equal rights has never been ratified. That means whenever you go into a court system, you don't have to be given equal rights. They don't have to respect equal rights because you don't have them. We believe you ever heard brothers and sisters walk around? We got equal rights. I deserve equal rights. I'm as a citizen of America, I demand my equal rights. You don't have equal rights. And this is what I'm talking about. Listen, we just said it right here. The wicked are estranged from the womb.
Right.
They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. All those laws that they make and everything, those are lies. You understand? That's to make you comfortable with being here. That's to make you comfortable with being a slave. If it wasn't for laws, we would be rioting right now. If there was no laws and they was just doing what they were doing, we would revolt. But because the mind of the oppressor is so wicked, they said we can create something that can keep them coming back. It's like crack. Well, we do have all we got to do is keep voting. The laws, we got the right to vote. No, you don't have the right to vote. They're allowing you to vote to keep you at bay. Every time you go pull that switch, you feel great. And they put a little patch on your chest and say, I voted.
Right.
That's a stupid patch. That's to show you who's stupid and who's not. This nigga stupid. Pop. See you later. That's what they do. We feel comfortable with it. It says they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking loud. Go ahead. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent.
They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear.
Deaf adder can't hear. The deaf adder only smells. No ears. Can't hear you say, hey, it's me. I'm with you. No, he gonna bite you anyway. You understand? Because he smells the enemy. You are his enemy. That's our enemy, and we are their enemy. Ears are stopped up. They don't hear what you're saying. I don't want to hear it. How many times have you told the police, listen, it wasn't me, it wasn't me. I don't give a goddamn. Get up against the wall. Spread them. I don't care. You understand? He said he was 6'3". You 5'4". He know it ain't you, but he don't give a goddamn. You understand? Because you his enemy. Ecclesiastes 7:13. Ecclesiastes 7:13.
Okay. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 13. Consider the work of Yahweh.
Hey, listen, consider the work of the Most High. We look at a perfect world. Have you ever heard somebody ever say, man, this world is not fair? You ever heard somebody say that? The world ain't fair. Listen. Huh? Yeah, but listen. Listen to this, right? We say the world is not fair, but the world is fair. It's the people that we meet in the world that's not fair. Rains on your head just like it rains on mine, just like it rains on theirs. When the sun shines, it shines on all of us. It's not the world that's not fair. And I'm not talking about the age or society. I'm talking about the world, period, the things that happen. Consider the works of God. It's the people that we meet. It's the oppressor that stands over us that makes it seem like the world is not fair. You understand? Yeah. But when you have an unrighteous man ruling over you, you understand? You blame it on the world. You understand? Consider the works of God. Go ahead.
For who can make that straight, which he hath made crooked?
Think about this, right? How many times have we said we're going to trust in this man? Listen, all we got to do is keep on, man, as long as we good to them, eventually they're going to give us something. How long we've been good? We've been good. Listen, we was good to them on the plantation. Look how rich we made them. You understand what I'm saying? Look at all the inventions that they stole from us.
Right.
You understand? We've been good to them for a long time. Think about this, right? After 450 years, how time gonna come? Think about the niggas that's still saying that. Hey, man, all we got to do is keep persevering. Eventually, they're gonna do something for us.
Right.
Pulling that switch. Think about it, right? We said this before, right? How many times have you heard your grandparents or your mother or your father or somebody say, listen, our ancestors died for the right to vote? You heard people say that, right? Let me ask a question, right? If you die for something, does that make it right? Think about how many brothers died selling crack. Did that make it right? Died selling dope. Did that make it right? See, we keep thinking that just because somebody died for something, that makes it good. That makes it righteous. That makes it holy. You understand what I'm saying? We got to start thinking different. And the problem is we keep thinking about the oppressor. We keep thinking about loving the oppressor. That's what makes us think like that. You understand? It says, consider the works of God. Who can make that straight which he hath made crooked? We keep trying to make this man a good man when God did not make him like that. This is the way he created him. He created him to do just what he's doing, to wake us up. Read that again.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 13. Consider the work of Yahweh, for who can make straight which he have made crooked?
Think about that. Think about it. Think about and look at the way they did it, right? Who can make that thing straight? That's straight and narrow.
Right.
Who can make that straight and narrow? That thing that's crooked, that thing that's off, that thing that's wrong. Who can make the wrong thing right?
Right.
Nobody can make the wrong thing right. They're not something that the Most High created in a way that he created it. Go ahead. What you got, Ricard?
Can I?
Right.
Yeah, right.
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 I told you that nigga was smart. I don't care what he said, yo. Did you hear what he just did?
Go.
Listen, how long will you love simplicity is what my higher up, the man over me said, Gabar Ricard. How long will you love simplicity? You understand? When we think like the oppressor, we are thinking in simplicity. The simple things baffle us. You understand?
Okay.
We gotta think like the Most High taught us to think.
Right.
Laws, statutes, and commandments come before the laws of the oppressor. Listen, I'm gonna tell you one thing Commanding General Yohana said. I remember Commanding General Yohana said, if you follow the laws, statutes, and commandments, you can't break the oppressor's laws.
Right. Okay.
That's right.
Think about it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
Man, it's like,
Go ahead. What you got?
it just made me think. You know, man, this scripture. I was on a side note, same subject. I was watching the He-Man movie.
Right.
And the way he was
that good?
it was that joke was good. It was hard. I ain't gonna hold you.
Okay, go ahead.
See it in the movie though. I just want to say that.
Right.
I watched it again on TV. It was like, it was alright.
Right.
But so in the movie, they got He-Man. He talking to he trying to talk Skeletor, you know what I mean, down. Like he trying to say like we ain't got to fight. Let's talk about it.
Right.
And the conversation made me feel like black people talk to Edomites.
Right.
He was saying, he like, yeah, we don't have to do this. Skeletor was telling him like, he like, yeah, we don't got to go through this all the time. You know, we can go ahead and let's mend this and try to be better.
Right.
Skeletor started laughing like, you don't get it. He said, you trying to change me.
Right.
I'm the villain. This is who I am.
Right.
Listen, that's scripture right there.
You know what, cuz?
That's scripture, you know, it's two white men, right? That's still scripture, though, right? You try to make something that's evil. You trying to make the evil thing good.
Right.
You understand? It's impossible.
That's what Christians need to understand.
Right. That's what Christians, definitely what Christians need to understand. You know what I mean? And that's the problem with us, is we trying to make the evil thing good. It's not going to happen. Listen, this is the reason why the Most High separated us from all other nations.
That's right.
You understand? Because he gave us a moral compass and understanding that these other nations don't have morality. I need to separate you from them. You understand? Not that you can't do business with them, but you can't intermingle. You can't make marriages with them. Not only are we talking about matrimonial marriage, but we talking about business marriage.
Right. Anything.
You understand what I'm saying? You can't marry them like that. You understand? Think about all of the businesses that brothers had that they married or intermingled with the oppressor. And as soon as something happened, they lose the whole bit. Think about where Kobe's business is going. Kobe Bryant. Them businesses in the hands of the oppressor now. You understand what I'm saying? All of the business deals that he did, all of the money that he was making, all that crap is gone. You understand? I also always think about my man Ice Cube with the big 3D. You incorporated the oppressor, and now it's a rap. This could have been a league where you could have had brothers who didn't make it to the NBA. It was good enough, but just didn't get the break. You could have started a whole league. You could have went to different cities, starting off in one city. You could have had dudes coming in from other cities. And then as it expanded, now you start putting arenas in other cities. Now these brothers that played basketball their whole career and didn't make it, now they got an outlet. You understand what I'm saying? It could have been the same thing for football and basketball. You understand what I'm saying? Think about it. It's bigger than me. Right. But think about it, right? That was our outlet because people come to see us. Don't come to see them. They come to see us because why? Because we're exciting. We're the salt of the earth. We're special. You understand? He made us a special people. You understand? We attract. They don't.
Right.
They like a broken magnet. They like a magnet turned to the opposite side. You know how they push apart, you flip them over, and they boom, come together. That's us right there. That's them right there. We looking at these things again, right? To get back, we looking at what's going on in these wars right here. We looking at the playbook for the third time. Micah 2:10. Matter of fact, I want to get that Micah 2:1. Yeah, Micah 2:1. I'm gonna start with Micah 2:1 first. This is gonna be the end of it right here. Micah 2:1.
This is Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
Think about that. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Yeah. You dream about being wicked.
Right.
Wake up.
They dream about it. Sit up at night thinking about it. Sit up writing plans. You ever seen Congress say we're gonna be working into the night until this bill gets passed? They working evil. upon their beds. They working evil into the night. You understand? We got to pass these bills so we can redline these people, so we can take their property, so we can use what they call it, eminent domain. You understand? Go ahead, read it. Finish reading.
And work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand.
Listen, when the morning is light, they practice it. When they wake up that next day, they come in, they practice what they use what they created that night before. Why do they do it? Because it's in the power of their hand. They have the power to do it. They ruling over us. They have the power to do that. You understand what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, the scriptures tell us that, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Meaning we have the power to change our condition. We have the power to change our condition by coming back to the law, statutes, and commandments. I'm going to go to Micah 2:10. It's going to be it right here. Micah 2:10.
This is Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest.
Hey, listen, rise ye and depart. This is not our rest. We get too comfortable in America. We get too comfortable with what's going on around us. You understand? We get too comfortable in being around the oppressor and the little crumbs that drop off the table. We get comfortable with that. You ever seen somebody be at work and be like, I'm the only black person at my job? Remember Malcolm X said that? I'm the only black person. I'm the first black person in this state. My aunt husband did that when they was the first black people to move out of Columbia. He used to say that all the time. This was in the 70s. They had a nice big house. They still got it. But it was, I used to be mad, you know what I mean? Because even as a kid, I'm like, I hate being around these white people because they were soft. You know what I mean? Hit them and they start crying. We play football with them and they cry. You know what I mean? And I'm little. I'm the littlest one. My cousins used to rough the hell out of me. I'm hitting them and they crying. Like, yo, I don't like them. You know what I mean? I get beat up by y'all, boy. You know what I mean? I think more than that. But go ahead.
Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sword destruction.
Hey, listen, this polluted shall destroy. But the sword destruction, meaning total destruction. Look at us. We are totally destroyed. The people without a language, people without a history. We know our history, but I'm talking about for the majority of it.
Knowledge of the Most High.
Say that again.
Knowledge of the Most High.
Exactly. Knowledge of the Most High. We got the law, statutes, and commandments. And listen, again, that's why we go out there on these Saturdays and we speaking to our people out on the streets. You understand? To bring them back, to give them understanding, to let them know that we do have a history. You understand? We do have a calling to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand? With that, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the commanding General Yohana. We've been bringing this truth since 1969. And what is that truth? That truth is that the so-called blacks, the so-called Hispanics, and the so-called natives are the greatest people that ever walked the face of this earth, and the Bible identifies us as the true biblical Jews of the Bible. Hey, listen, y'all better check out Black Watch. Black Watch about to come on. You feel me?
All right.
And with that, I'm gonna pass the class over to Priest Officer Al-Azhar.
Security announcement. You had ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander Junior Honor. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're here to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves with the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18, chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Means 10th in the Hebrew is pronounced ma'asra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you get to the Treasury Department or teacher, priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations, September, we got the Feast of First Fruits. Memorial blowing of the trumpets. Just keep checking on ISUPK's social media, ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, he is start wearing all black, which means black boots, shirts, pants, headbands, and scarves. And with that, man, Israel with one courage salute to the teacher. Man, Israel mighty, needs to stand. Mighty Shabbat, mighty, Barak, Yahweh, Shabbat, Yajamata. So, salute the sisters online. Man, Israel mighty, mighty Shabbat, mighty, Barak, Yajamata, Francis Smith.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're